no, I wanted to lose a little bit more weight, but I am a little bit curvier. So I just thought that it wasn't that bad, but yeah.
It's here's the thing. You got to look at what men pick. See, go look at men who are successful or with money, and look at their wives.
What is up, guys? It's your boy back. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. Hope your week has been phenomenal because I am here with a classic from the GOAT himself, Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace. Remember, check out his channel. If you want to skip me yapping, just use the timestamps. That's what they're here for. Chapter select, whatever you want to call it. But today I did want to get into this because it is yet another woman who has unrealistic body standards, although I will give the caveat, she handles this a lot better than most because typically, these women will be like 200, 300, whatever pounds. 300 maybe an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. They'll weigh a ton, way more than a man, and then demand everything from a man and say they deserve blah, 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 blah. Who cares? No one cares about that. We just want to see what Kevin has to say because it is something of value and something that a lot of women can still take and a lot of men can still take. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is how important is the weight component as far as being high value?
The weight,
Yeah.
a
For
woman's
example,
weight,
if you,
a woman's weight.
yeah, yeah, like for example, if you have other qualities.
Well, let me ask you this: how old are you?
I'm 24.
224. All right. How important is the money component for a man?
It's important.
How important?
Um, very important.
If you had to rank it in order of, if you had to rank it, how high up would it be?
Number one.
That's where the weight is.
Okay. I just noticed that when you talk about the weight, you don't have like a range for the weight, but like
Yeah,
a
I do.
healthy weight
Yeah, I do.
is a
Yeah, I
range.
do have a. I have a range. It's something in below, because I'm talking about the kind of men women say they want. Don't deal with overweight women.
Okay. Um, but specifically, I was referring to the caller that called before, who was 5'7" and 150 something
You need
pounds.
to be under 145 pounds as a woman, regardless as to your height. 140, 145 pounds. Is that you, or do you weigh more than that?
No, that's me. But
Huh?
I'm short. I'm in that range, but I'm short.
Okay. So why are you, if you're in your range, why are you concerned about other women's range? I'm curious.
Oh, because you always say that, well, I'm 5'4", and you
Uh huh.
always say that, like, at my height, you should
Und-
be 120,
yep.
but I'm over this amount. I'm 140,
Okay.
but I think I still look good.
You can think. Okay. What does your husband say?
I'm not married.
All right. See, one thing you ladies are gonna have to get your mind around is you want men to earn, but you want it to be flexible on your beauty and your weight. It's not. And I get dinged for saying it. Oh, and I hear people pulling out, well, this Serena Williams. Look, man, uh, the smaller the woman, the bigger the ring. And
I
the
don't think,
okay, you
sorry,
don't.
not to cut you off.
But okay, but see, I get it. You don't have to like it, and you don't have to. Whatever you think, ma'am. I put it to you this way: the guys I know, my clients, the men at this level, this is what they're saying too. This is what they marry. And why is it that you want to go back and forth about a pound or two here? Why don't you just get in the gym and lose the weight and give men what they say they want? If you
It's
want a
not
man
that
at that
easy.
level, huh?
it's not that simple.
I don't. Well, guess what? Do you want to? Do you? Would you like to marry a man that's earning $300,000 or more, so you don't have to work and have kids and work from home?
Yeah, I think everybody would like that.
Well, guess what, ma'am? How easy do you think that is? I guarantee. Let me tell you something else, young lady. Men at that level would gladly switch places with you and simply lose weight and be fit and attractive and easy to get along with versus having to get out there and fight with the sharks. This is entitlement. It's not easy. So
Hmm.
that's why the women that do
Okay.
it can get it. I mean, do you understand? I'm trying to be reasonable, but do you understand what you're saying? It's not easy. So push
Okay.
away from the table, exercise, or marry a man that you know. Well, those see, these are your options.
And ultimately, this is the crux of the issue. And, this is why Kevin got so much crap about it while he was alive. And, so many people saying he was a misogynist and blah, blah, blah. But that's just because he was telling women the truth. These chicks will, let's use a weight example because there's a lot of different, examples of lower value women. But specifically for the weight, they'll come into it, be weighing, like I said, these people are not as crazy heavy as some of these women that Kevin's spoken to, but let's just say the woman weighs 180, 190 pounds, which is ridiculous for a woman. A woman should never be that big. She's had kids, she shouldn't be that big. Unless she maybe popped out like quintuplets. Like, there's no other reason. And they want and feel entitled, more importantly, to a man's money, to a man's earnings, to a man's resources, to a man's time. And they just think it's just easy, just like that. They see these models and that's part of the reason too. They see these models like Kim Kardashian or Cardi B or whoever is the popping off chick of the month. And they will try and mimic them because they think it's cute. They think that men will, I mean, they don't even, the worst part is they don't even think about what the men like. They just assume the men are going to get used to it. That's why you had so many of these women who come to situations and they say, well, I'm just a lot, I'm just, you got to work with me. You got to do this, X, Y. I'm like, man, what? Like, riddle me this. Can you imagine our ancestors coming back from, hunting? Let's say they went and hunted down some wild boar or whatever it is to go and feed the tribe. Do you think our ancestors would come back home and accept a wife who is saying, so I know you just spent 3 days hunting down this woolly mammoth with the whole squad. One of your boys got injured. One of them almost died. Hell, maybe one of them did die. So when you get home, what I'm going to do instead of cooking, cleaning, and making sure that your open quotes taken care of, I'm going to keep it YouTube friendly. I'm going to make your life hell. I'm going to be a lot. I'm going to be argumentative. I'm going to be quarrelsome. I mean, the Bible talks about this. I mean, it's one of the first things the Bible talks about is, quarrelsome women. And it's like, no one wants to be around this chick who feels like she's entitled to everything, even though she hasn't put in the effort, because men can't get away with that same thought process. If I were to go, which I've done because I've done a lot of cold approach and whatnot throughout the years. When I was 303 pounds at my highest weight ever, I was doing approach, and because my verbal game was really, really good, I was still getting, results, but it took a lot more approaches than my friends. And I had a lot more blowouts and a lot more brutal blowouts where chicks are just like walking right by me, telling me, just F off, go away, like looking at me like I'm gum on their shoe. And that's because I was fat. Okay, so what if I have some money? I'm still fat. So what they're seeing on the outside is, okay, this guy has money or whatever, he has resources, but he's still fat. So why would I want to spend time with him? Why would I want to be with him? And then I come across, because, that's part of the game, is like this entitlement almost. It's like a strategic entitlement. And they're like, why do you feel like you're entitled to my specials when you weigh like an elephant, basically, a human elephant?
And what do you ladies think about what I just said? Because I want to have you ladies talk about this stuff too, and ask the questions that you guys want to ask. And I'll be willing to ask. Jordan, you can unmute, and Emma, you can unmute.
Okay.
What do you think about what she was saying?
About it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I have heard women say, it it the weight requirement is restrictive, and
Uh,
pretty much
Um,
it's not fair. It's not easy. Go ahead.
I think, well, and I'm 20, so it might be, my advice might be taken seriously, but I think you should want to do it for yourself, because so many diseases just come from like being overweight alone. Um, so I personally think it's just about like taking care of your own body. That's just me. I like to eat healthy. I like to exercise because it makes me feel good, but it doesn't hurt that it also, helps men too. So that's my opinion on it.
Godiva?
I definitely agree with what she was saying. I think that was Jordan. I definitely agree with what she's saying. Honestly, treating yourself well and just going the extra step. Like once you start getting into a whole routine of working out and everything like that, it just changes your outlook on so many other things. And I feel like anytime when I'm eating like really bad food, that's when I'm like not my full potential. So I can't.
Okay, okay, but I have I think you said you're like 157, and the other young lady said she was like 140. And the thing is, um, even if you look back in the 70s, you're all too young, but go back and look at an actress called Pam Grier. She was a dress size 8, and she was hella voluptuous. People talk about Thelma on Good Times. She was a dress size 6 or 4 or 6. You ladies gonna have to get the fact that if okay, just like I said, money or income is tops for you because you want a man who's earning enough money to where you have the ability to work or not work and all these other kind of things. Well, if you're not you aren't going to budge off that, or that's important to you. What I'm really hearing from you ladies is you don't really feel like you should have to give a man what they want. It comes across as entitlement in the sense that women tell men what they think they deserve by their attitude and their appearance.
I can stand to lose some weight. I've been trying to work out, so I can't really say that this is just my own personal journey that I
Okay.
wanted to lose a little bit more. So I can't
You
really
wanted to weigh more?
know I wanted to lose a little bit more weight, but I am a little bit curvier. So I just thought that it wasn't that bad, but yeah.
It's here's the thing. You got to look at what men pick. See, go look at men who are successful or with money, and look at their wives. And you can't look at wives they get when they were in their early 20s and they go through. Look at a second wife.
Yeah, it's
How
true.
often do you see second wives who are overweight? Second wives are usually young, hot, right? Yes.
No, you're absolutely right. I know men are very visual, so
Well, yeah, and that's our prerogative. See, the thing is, there was a time when you ladies used to accept it and say, "Well, shit, if I want that kind of man, I got to do it." Now it's almost like, well, pff, I think I'm fine. All right, but you're not, but it's not getting you the outcome, meaning a relationship or a husband. It's not getting you what you want.
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and unmute. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
So not to discredit anything that you're saying, but what do you think about the studies that have been done that has shown that men actually prefer curvier women as
Well,
opposed to
you
um,
can't discredit what I'm saying because my clients are the ones who get to pick. You can find a study that will substantiate your point of view all day long. But the reality is, if you look at men who are successful, wealthy, well off, look at what they pick. And see, my problem with what you're saying is you're still going to what, but yeah, but it shouldn't be that way. Honestly, let me ask you: do you think it's fair that you have to have a weight standard and a beauty standard?
No, I don't think it's fair.
Well, then guess what? Buy a dog, because that is an incredibly entitled position. You think someone should have to get out and go conquer the world, sit you down so you never have to work, and all you got to do is be a certain maintain to be a beautiful wife for him? That okay?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have. Here's the beautiful thing: you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But what do you think the likelihood you're going to get a man, the kind of man you say you want?
Probably not very likely.
Okay, and then if that's the case, and we plan out life all the way, and you die alone, or you live unhappy because you had to settle for something you didn't want, you can't blame men. Because you will say at 24 years old, I had a conversation with a guy and he tried to tell me, but I was too stubborn, too entitled to do what was necessary to get what I wanted, and I got what I got. I mean, that's what men see. It'd be no different than if I said, "Hey, man, you want to date a dime, you want an Instagram model, you want a baddie, right? Great, but all you want to do is work second shift at Walmart, and you want to live in a Cracker Jack's apartment driving a beat up truck." You would say, "Well, yeah, he doesn't deserve that. He wouldn't deserve a baddie, right?"
Yeah,
or would
that's
he?
correct.
Well. So what you're showing is that women who share your opinion are of no value to successful, high value men. And all ladies need to ask, what do men want? Joanne, go ahead. Joanne, go ahead.
Yeah. So I agree with both of you guys. I think for the weight, it depends on your body fat percentage and your composition. So like sometimes like if you're like more busty.
Well, it does, but that's why the dress size is always there. I mean, there's nothing that says 120 pounds. It's a dress size, roughly a dress size 2 or 4, growing up to a 6. Being larger than a 6, if you're extremely busty, then stuff off the rack isn't made for you. But the ultimate point is less. Don't go up. Don't go up. Go down. Because you don't want a man to go down in income. You want him to go up.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like it's how you look overall. So if you look like, slim and nice, then.
So why is it that you ladies, because I think, you're being honest, and women do feel like it's unfair that they have to maintain a weight and a beauty standard. Where did that come? Where does that come from?
Am I mute?
Huh?
Oh, I'm not on mute. Am I? No.
Nobody's on mute.
Oh, okay. I think my opinions are kind of unpopular because I am in the danger zone. I do think that it's just the double standard that we both have to it's like a social contract, So we expect men to have money, so men expect the women to be beautiful. So I understand it. It's an unwritten rule, so I accept it.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a double standard. It's just a standard. I think it's what men should get for making themselves special.
No, because I know a lot of women will complain. Well, if a guy's as big as me, like, what's the issue? And I'm saying basically, well,
if a guy, what do you say? If a guy is as big as you, then what?
No, so I'm saying like a lot of women will be like, well, why is it that fat men are always like they're looked at as sex symbols, but like a fat woman isn't? And
because he's not fat and broke.
No, that's exactly what I'm agreeing with you.
Because he's not fat and broke. Because fat broke men are not looked at as sex symbols.
Exactly.
And that's going to be everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. I know I talked a little bit more in the middle than I normally do, but I had a lot of choice thoughts on this whole thing because, I've seen both sides of the fence and, I've been super fat before and I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have these, delusions of grandeur and to want success and to want to, get the right woman and, so on, but not meeting the cut. That's just like men are used to rejection. It's a very, very common thing. When we grow up, we get rejected all the time. You get rejected for not making, weight for wrestling. You get rejected for the football team. You get rejected for basketball. You get rejected for what, from women. You get beat up in boxing. You get beat up in martial arts. Doesn't matter. There's some sort of rejection that's always happening throughout our lives that just kind of hardens us to it a little bit more. And some men, take it in stride. Some don't. That's just part of life. It's, sink or swim, especially for us. But we understand that implicitly. We just kind of get it. It's like, all right, well, if I want to, crack smoke shows, then I got to be someone smoke shows want to crack or want to let crack. Pause. But really, that's what it takes. It takes this level of self-awareness, this level of willingness to grow, and ultimately taking your life more seriously. Because when you aren't taking it seriously, you're letting things go, you're doing whatever. It's just kind of, I'm here, I'm there, it's, things are going on. And then, before you know it, you balloon weight or you get super lazy or you lose your drive, whatever you call it. And it just creates these cyclical issues where it prevents you from progressing your life because you prevented yourself from progressing your own life. That said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I definitely want to hear your thoughts and keep an eye out for the next one.